Okay, I was asked by Steve to talk about voter non-voter etiquette. I don't know why I was picked that. But let's get started here with the definition of etiquette. This is according to Webster Dictionary. It says the forms, manners, etc., which are conventionally acceptable or required in society. Okay, let's just forget about that. Voter non-voter etiquette is just a matter of respect. Respect for your voter, respect for your non-voter. I'm a big one with visual aids, so I do have some visual aids. I brought a non-voter tackle bag.
A little light, ain't it?
I have seen guys bring stuff like this in my boat. I've also, and some of us were around back then, remember a voter who told a non-voter, take half of that stuff back to your car before you get in my boat. It created a problem when the non-voter quit, never came back. He filed a complaint and everything, but he was, oh well, it was. Okay. I do have a few notes, just for guidelines here. Okay. Some of us are non-voters. We paid a lot of money for our boats, not me particularly, but and we take care of them. Like some of you guys ridden in Stella, one I just got rid of, but she was old enough. She was older than a lot of you guys in here. That didn't mean it didn't mean as much to me as anybody else. So sometimes for non-voters, I recommend booties. Get yourself some booties, especially if you're going to be fishing with Rod Brown, who's not here to defend himself, so some people don't want you walking on their carpets. Get booties. It also helps to bring some of this. This can make your voter feel a lot better about what's going on. Voters,
Might even let you fish out of the front of the boat.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
All voters have some set of rules for their vote. Those of you who fish with me are familiar with my rule book. Anybody who has not fished with me will get a copy of this when you draw me. There will be an exam, there will be a test, written test beforehand. So if you draw me, I recommend that you look at my, well, it used to be called the handbook. I've changed it to the rule book. Okay, some of you guys are familiar with this. Okay, like I said, non-voter, voter, the whole thing is respect. Non-voter respecting the voter's vote, his property, spends a lot of money for it. And at the same time, the voter needs to respect the non-voter. His fact that he's out there, he wants to fish. I have found over the years, and I have early on in my years, first 2 years in the club I fished as a non-voter, I actually felt one time that I had been backvoted. Turns out you cannot be backvoted. So if your voter is concentrating on one area, turn around. There's a whole lot of water on the other side. The only way you could possibly be backvoted is maybe if he was going down a 10-foot wide canal and fishing in front of the boat. You cannot be backvoted in the back of a boat. It's actually impossible. Addie said, yeah, we don't, yeah, she says that all the time. Another thing that I would recommend as far as being in the back of the boat, if you're boater is using something, sometimes it's best to use something different. You know, you fish different areas, or fish the same areas he just threw in. That can work out really well, doing it that way. If your boater has a particular bait that seems to be working really well, once again, bring some of this. Maybe you can get one of those baits from them. One of the things that as a boater sometimes can get annoying is, like I was kidding around about this being a tackle bed. There's only so much space in the boat, and I would say every boater in this club sets aside an area, a space, maybe a compartment for the non-boater to bring his gear, put it in. So sometimes, you know, we all have spent thousands of dollars on all these rods and all this tackle and everything. Sometimes you need to downsize as a non-boater. There's not, like I said, there's not a whole lot of room, and a lot of your, as a non-boater, your stuff has to be out. It could get in the way. Also, when it's time you want to get up and move, you don't need to. You don't want to have to sit around and wait for the non-boater to get all his stuff together. So, on that point, downsizing. This can be done. I have proof right here. You can downsize.
Does it work?
Yes, it does.
How much ice do you have to have?
These are not toys. Another thing is communication. Communication between the non-boater and the boater can be a huge factor. A lot of times, just communicating. If you get drawn, then I find out you're fishing with Rich, or a phone call. Even if you're a newer member, you're not familiar with the person, that's even better. A phone call. Talk to the boater. Find out what you might be doing. Find out the type of fishing you're going to do. You call me, this is all you need. See? You can fit your tackle in this box you're going to fish with me. But a phone call can cut down on a lot of the gear that you need to bring. If your boater is going to pitch and flip all day, well, then there's no need for you to bring rods with all these crankbaits. Bring a flipping stuff. No need to bring tackle boxes full of crankbaits. If he's going to be doing something like that, then you can do that too. Again, like I said, the communication aspect is huge. Sometimes as a non-boater, it can work out into going out to practice with your boater. There's various things that can happen with you communicating with your boater. You learn what you want to be doing. You may possibly hook up and get out practicing with them. You can find out little things. Does he have a cooler in his boat? Do you need to bring a cooler? Or can you just bring your sandwich and throw it in the cooler in his boat? Little things that you can find out from communicating with your boater. Again, downsizing. It's a big plus. I mean, this is a tackle box from one of my non-boaters. He downsized. We talked together first. He downsized. Once again, this is what he brought. And we talked real well, so we brought some of this. But that's another point. We are getting into that. I used to keep those in a cooler until I ran over it. Again, like I said, Boaters spend a lot of money on their boats, so you need to respect that. Now, it might not be the greatest looking boat, but still, it's their boat, you know, and it's important to them. One of the things we did years ago was we eliminated a non-boater fee to the boater. Years ago, it was all non-boaters had to pay their boater $25 towards gas. We eliminated that. It's still a very nice gesture to make an offer. You know, it didn't go over real well with some of the boaters at the time we decided to eliminate that. There was a lot of the guys, a lot of the boaters, even when it was required, would say, no, I don't want your money. You know, I was going to go do that anyway. I was going to drive there anyway. I was going to drive up and down the lake all day anyway. But it's always a nice gesture to make an offer. You know, it just makes the boater feel better. You know, like I said, most guys won't even take it. They're just saying, you know, I was going to do that anyways. But offer to pay for gas. That goes a long way. It goes a long way because now, maybe next tournament I'm going to go practice at State. Come on, let's go fishing. Little things like that can make a big difference. And as for the boaters, again, we need to respect the people in the back of the boat also. They're there, they want to catch fish too. They paid their money, same as we did. So we want to try to give them a chance. I know myself, personally, when I have a non-boater with me, I fish different than I do alone. I've had a lot of people tell me I'm crazy for doing that, but I do. You know, I'm concerned that the guy in the back of the boat's going to get fish too. He's going to have a good time. So that's a big part of it also as far as we boaters. You know, we need to make sure that the guy in the back of the boat's having a good time. We need to kind of, they're newer to this than we are. So it doesn't hurt to be, to help them out a little bit. I'm not saying I haven't done this, but I'm not saying tie on lures for them and help them with, you know, tying lures and teaching them stuff. You know, being a boater is also a responsibility to us to grow our club. Because guys, we all started out in the back of somebody's boat. And if we didn't have a good experience, we probably wouldn't still be here, we wouldn't be boat owners. We would just said, to heck with it, we're gone, we're done. So it's a big responsibility on both boater and non-boater department. That respect each other, take care of each other, take care of our equipment, have a good time, have a safe time. I'm sure I believe it's on the website, there's a list, isn't there, of equipment you should be bringing. You know, as a non-boater, do not count on your boater having everything for you. It's not his responsibility. Make sure you have your life jackets, your cull tags. Like I said, if the boater doesn't have a cooler, have a little cooler, have your water. You know, he's not going to provide this stuff. Not to say that if you forget something that he might not have it. And 99.9% of us will give it up. You know, we all carry extra life jackets, and I know myself, I carry an extra set of cull tags. And, you know, but the main thing is respecting each other. Respect the boat owner, respect the boat. The boater, respect the guy in the back of the boat, and everybody have a good time, safe time, and that's about all I got. Just remember, this goes a long way if you need lures out of my boats. Brush hogs are not cheap. It's actually
there a 3-hour limit on that rule? Been all day?
It's actually chapter 27, rule 32. The boater catches the first fish.
Hey Bob, what's the rule book say about broken motors on the boaters?
Oh, you don't even want to go there. Guy broke my boat. I had to buy a new one. Also, according to the rules, you alternate. Boater catches the first fish, non-boater second fish. That can only be broken by the boater. That rule. You know. But like I said, you could draw me, you get a copy of my rule book and study up on it, and there'll be a test before the tournament starts. If you fail the test, then you'll be sitting on shore with Tyler. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good one.
Yeah, Bob, I was just gonna bring up one thing. When you're, especially if you're a new person in the club, okay, getting into a 21-foot Ranger with a 250 and no second console, and then going 65 or 70 miles an hour in choppy water can be pretty scary. So I would just remind boaters, be aware of who you have in the boat with you. Now, I've been a boater and I've been a non-boater, and I'm used to riding with Tig, and it's not a lot of fun, but you know. But I've also ridden with Bill Rogers, and it's like smooth as glass, you know. So I would just remind boaters, you got a big, powerful boat. They go really fast, even compared to boats 15, 20 years ago. You know, and some of the people that you have in that boat, especially if it's not a dual console boat, if you're there exposed to the wind, hanging onto those straps, it gets pretty scary if it's choppy and you're really trying to haul ass. So try to keep that in mind and don't leave like, 13 minutes to get to the weigh-in when you're like 4 miles away and there's 3 footers. Because
Sorry about that, Mary.
it's just for the non-boater, it's not that much fun.
Right.
So just be aware of who you have in the boat. You got me in the boat, go as fast as you damn well please.
Also, I know it wasn't mentioned, but for non-boaters and boaters, if you have a medical condition, it wouldn't be a bad idea to tell your boater, or vice versa if you tell your non-boater. Just in case something does happen, they're aware of what possibly could be the cause. That's another good idea, if you have a medical condition. I'm not talking about a hangover because you went into Soda's Point. Right, little spoon? But that's also a good idea. If you have a medical condition, let your boater, or if your boater has a medical condition, let your non-boater know, so that things can be